Good Lord. So many of you. So many of you out there. Hey, baby, is Caitlin in?
I don't think she's in
She's
yet.
not in? That's that's not cool. I was hoping she would be in today. Um, got a great stream plan for you folks, but got some business to take care of here first. I was hoping the divine Caitlin was here uh, to start the show and everything. Got a couple of things to say. First of all, um, troll alert. Uh, Attention, all tribal marshals. Um, if one stinking troll shows up today, knock them right out of the park. Only take turns and then report them. You can click the report button, I believe. I think that's within your power. Right to YouTube, and then we'll take care of them after the stream. I'm not going to put up with any bullshit tonight, especially after Royce's stream on Sunday. That's why I was asking if Caitlin was in. The divine Caitlin, just like many of our female tribal members, I might add, and the disgusting pig of a human being that trolled Royce's show on Sunday. We all know who you are. You're still not going to get one iota of spotlight from me, brother. Brother. He's not. He's nobody's brother. All right. Have you ever seen that movie, baby? Oh, by the way, folks, my divine wife. I'm not just talking to the walls. Is uh, my producer, and she is my tether to you. Usually I go on and I talk. I may have a little more time to spend with you guys, folks. Not as far as how long the stream is going or anything like that, but uh, a lot of this is going to be based on a couple of videos I've done and where we are with the Beatles. Have they really listened to their fans? And I also want to speak a little bit about Bobby Hart. One of you asked me in one of my latest videos, no words for Bobby Hart, and I will be discussing him as well tonight. All right. Because Bobby Hart passed away. I believe he 88. Somebody can tell me how old he was. But before we get into that, I want to address what happened on Royce's show. Not only did we have a troll, but I keep looking for Agent Pepsi here, or I see Agent Pepsi. I'm looking for Caitlin. Uh, she had her stream earlier today. I didn't mention this, so she didn't know I would be bringing this up. But the troll not only trolled Caitlin, but he said some despicable things. Now, I know Royce is out there, at least he was earlier. And Royce and I have been talking on the phone about this all day and a little bit last night. And Royce is as disgusted as I am. Royce is from the Four Horsemen. All right. So if you see the Four Horsemen out there, that's Royce Eddings, best buddy of mine. All right. And the brother channel to this channel. All right. I'm often up on his panel as one of the Four Horsemen on Sunday evenings at 6:30. I stream Sundays at 5 as well as Wednesdays at 5 p.m., 6:30 for Royce, and all of that's PST, folks. All right. And enough of the channel branding right now. The things he said, all I can tell you, you monkey's uncle, if you said that to Caitlin in a room, in a yard, at a park, at a restaurant, a bar, in front of me, you would have been unconscious before you ever even knew that you had woken up that morning. And I think I'm speaking for Royce as well. All right. You're a despicable pig. You really are. And you're showing yourself to be subhuman. I won't make that judgment on you. Your actions seem to indicate it. And then you bitch and you moan about how there's so many trolls that are pretending to be you when that is your play to begin with. That's exactly what you did. You came in with your multiple accounts, and Royce was having trouble getting down to those comments. So your comments lasted longer. Your stain lasted longer than it should have. And so every marshal out there, you see those wrenches next to some names? They are fully endowed to kick your ass out of here. All right. I don't want you here. I don't want your ilk here. Ever. I'll quit this fucking channel before I'd ever allow that fucking shit to happen. You pig shit. What you said to Caitlin crossed the fucking line. And you know what? People, thank you so much. I saw that. I'll get right to you, Deuces. Wow, that's nice. Already some of you have given us super thanks.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'll tell you where to go, son. You ever see the 40-year virgin? That guy got laid before this guy will ever get laid. Fucking asshole. I'll tell you where you go. It's real easy. Go back to Rachel's stream. She puts up with your shit. And anybody wants to share a screen with her, and puts up with your shit is disgusting as far as I'm concerned. Now I don't know if I'm still in a pissed off mood since last Wednesday or not, folks, but I won't have anybody laying claim to any of our female members here. I won't have it, and I know a ton of you gentlemen out there won't have it as well. So there's the ground rules for the fucking channel, moron. Sorry, folks. You get from me what I'm feeling in the moment. That's one of the things I bring to this channel. Talking to Kimberly, she's be careful. She's the best side of me. I listen to her. But I have to say this. Nothing I've said today is any surprise to Royce. For the four horsemen that you see there. We've talked about this. I know his sentiments aren't far off from mine, but I'll just speak my sentiments. You're a dick. No, you're dickless. Okay. And a big apology to Dr. Rick, who was disrespected on another stream. I'm not going to mention the name. I had to get in there, call them all a bunch of dipshits. I think that's the word I used, wasn't it, baby?
Yeah.
I calls them as a season, honey.
Yeah.
All right. Dr. Rick, if you're out there, I don't know. As many of you know, Dr. Rick is God. He's a great guy. He really is, and he supports both this channel and Royce's. So Royce, I know I'm speaking for Royce, and I know Royce is angry over this too. This is another thing from another stream. I'm not going to give you any more information than that, but he was disrespected, and there were people on panel who knew who he was or should have known who he was, and they went dead silent when all the jokes went. That's on them. Can't help you, people. If you can't speak your fucking mind when something's going on, then don't tell me later that you're not a chump, because your actions speak a whole lot fucking more louder than your words. All right, I got to get to these, otherwise they're gonna disappear in front of me, baby. Okay, so Oberheim is in. Will be on patrol.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. He gave us a $3 super thanks way before the stream started. I want to thank you, Brandon, so much, and I hope you're having a goodly day. He's usually at work. He's from down under, folks. We've got several lots of people from Australia, New Zealand, who are part of this tribe, right? And so, a big thank you, Brendan. I appreciate it. I know that you know some of these people I'm talking about, and I hope I haven't uh, gone over the line with you, brother. I really do. Uh,
Oh my goodness,
if you've got good graces with those people, that's fine.
Music came in with a super
Oh
thanks.
wow,
Oh my
Rob,
goodness.
sure, Rob Skewer. Oh my goodness,
I love that name.
I just watched one of his videos. I was gonna leave. Damn it. Oh yeah, he goes way back. I love the guy.
So much.
Please, he's a small channel, folks. He could use all his subscribers, right? The guy's a gentleman. I'll be right with you, Rob. Uh, Irgesplitten Laudenboomer gave us a $2 super thanks. He didn't say anything. He just swung the deuce hammer, right? Isn't that what we call it? What was the other one they were calling it? I can't remember. But anyway, thank you so much, Gear Jam. I appreciate it so much. And then just came in just before Rob was Deuces Wild with a $10 super thanks. Thank you, Rob. Give you a thumbs up. I can't. I give you a heart before the show, but the device that I give you a heart on is actually filming me right now, so I can't do that. But he says, I've seen such disrespect from many public and online against a person I admire and respect, Charlie Kirk. A troll represents many of the same things and will not be tolerated. Thank you, Lord, thank you. I've had enough. I've had enough. I think a lot of us have. It doesn't matter if you didn't like Charlie Kirk. I know I have a lot of viewers who are more left in politics. All right. And I know a lot of people on the left are not going for this either. I would hope not. But there are some who they've cheered. A lot of them getting fired. Companies don't want to be associated with these pigs anymore. His death, you know, and coming from the oh boy, I don't do politics. Coming from the party that claims to represent our better nature, our needs to the community, you would think you wouldn't hear this shit, but you do. And my longtime viewers will know I started off my last Wednesday stream on this. I wasn't going to, but Deuce, you brought it up, right? And I've been in a piss poor mood ever since. I got to tell you, my last streams have been tough for me to show up on here. And I was debating today, but I thought, no, we got to keep going. Oh,
Robin Bird.
oh, good Lord. Hell, the divine Rockin' Robin Bird.
Always so wonderful.
Anything from any female tribal members, I'm going to get an extra nod of that tonight from me because pig shits exist. Did you know that, baby?
Oh, I know.
I know you guys right now are going, oh, God, poor Kimberly. She has to live with that. Right now, Kimberly's agreeing with you. She's heard the raging from me. I'm telling you, she's heard the raging from me.
Well, Dr. Rick didn't deserve that kind of treatment.
No, he didn't.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Rob Skewer Music, $10. Thank you, Rob. Hi, Michael. I don't know what happened, but that troll sounds terrible. Thankfully, your channel typically draws a nicer crowd. Thank you for that compliment. But you know what, Rob? Seriously, I try to keep it. We've done 90% of, not higher than that, 98% of the of my streams hasn't been going after this kind of stuff. We don't usually have to. When I first started streaming live, I started making people, and Rob, you would be one if you I can only deputize you as a tribal marshal if you show up early, but you would be one. I would immediately when Kimberly told me, "Oh, Rob Skeers," and I go, "Oh yeah, yeah." I'm a I'm subscribed to Rob's channel. right? But here's the people that you thank is all these wonderful people you see in the comments tonight, brother. They're the ones that make this a no troll zone. I couldn't do it without them. You see, my style's a little different. Some other moron's going to try my style and then he's going to claim it's his. I've already heard him. You guys know who I'm talking about. It's just going to be me. Yeah, it's going to be different than anything else in the whole community. Bullshit, punk. Anyway, these people make this thing go. I get up, I open my mouth, Rob. You know me. You can tell by my comments in the past and everything. I just say what's on my mind. I don't have to worry about what I say because I try not to lie. And so I can say something 6 months later, Now, unless I've changed my mind, you might catch me saying something 3 months down the line, 3 months later, I've changed my mind. But I don't have to worry about trying to remember what it is I said. I pretty much say what's on my mind, brother. That's the way it is. And how I'm feeling in the moment. And I've often said this, you find folks, and many of you guys know, you've changed my mind on a couple of things. So it's not like I'm a hopeless cause. All right. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it so much. Rockin' Robin Bird, the divine Rockin' Robin Bird, to you, punk. She comes in with a $5 super thanks and she says, I don't know what happened. I dislocated my shoulder. I know you were going through something. I didn't know. Uh, but want to leave you with this. Oh my goodness. So this is new. I know you were having some troubles earlier in the week, Robin. Sorry. I'm going to just listen to. Oh, okay. So you're still beyond. That's more than okay. Many people listen to us from work. Brendan Oberheim listens to us from work. Sometimes so does Doc Insomnia. Several of you, a few of you have even told me I listen to you while I'm what do you call it, going from city. They're in a carpool or something. They're on their way to work or coming back from work, or listen to me on the bus, right, Doc? All right. So, yeah, that's great. And I'm so glad you checked in. Much love to the tribe, of course, darling. Thank you so much. All right, great. Okay, so before we get, well, let's just get channel business out of the way and then we're going to have some fun. All right, let's lighten it up after this. But I do give shout outs for those who have been, like on my next stream, I will shout out all these folks I just shouted out. I always give them one more sayonara shout out for supporting the channel. And let me make sure I'm on here the right way. Yeah. And then I've got another one here. Good. Let's just work our way. Is it, let me find out. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
No,
That'll
it's
work
me.
good. Okay. So first up, these are people who gave the channel super thanks. That all goes into supporting the channel, by the way. Um, I'm not going to get into that. We've spent enough time on why that's become a necessity, and we appreciate it, folks. All right. You guys know what we think of you. We love you dearly. Joseph Blue came in with a $5 super thanks. David L blew everybody out of the water with a $60 super thanks. Are you there? $5 super thanks. Deuces Wild, a $5 super thanks. Are you there again with a $5 super thanks? Rockin' Robin Bird, who I just shouted out, gave us a $5 super thanks. Are you there was in for a third time with a $20 super thanks. Man, he was one of the stars of the evening. And Irgish Splitten Laudenboomer, aka
Oh
Gear
my
Jam,
goodness,
was in
guys.
with a $10.
Robin Bird
Okay,
just
baby.
came in with another super
I'll be right with you, Rockin' Robin
Thank you
Bird.
so much, Rocky Robin Bird. You're
She
amazing.
doesn't know I'm reading this list. That's why I held up my hand. Hold on a second, baby. But she wasn't looking. She was just, trying fastly typing. Irga Splitten Laudenboomer came in with a $10 super thanks after that. And then Agent Pepsi won, the divine Agent Pepsi won. Watch your mouth. All right. $5. Thank you so much. The Divine and Marshall Agent Pepsi one. A lot of these people are Marshalls. Deuces Wild, and again with a $10 super thanks. Just the Facts Man, Dan, is the other channel that I'm connected to. Just the facts, man. Dan has just become monetized, so he's looking to do some changes on his channel. I can't wait, right? To get on over there and see his latest. But thank you, Dan, so much. Dan McNew from Just the Facts, man. John C. always in with a $5 super thanks. The Four Horsemen, that'd be Royce Eddings, in with a $20 super thanks. Thank you so much, brother. And Rockin' Robin Bird, which I'll get to you in a moment, Rockin' Robin Bird, was it. She started, I think she was the one that started the whole evening with a $1 super thanks. And I said then, and I say now, every dollar counts. We talk about swinging the deuce hammer. A lot of people just give $2. And by the end of the evening, you guys have made it more than worth everybody's while. I saw that. I'm going to get to you, Deuce. I got this list. Only two more here. Ben Scheidegger with $5 super thanks, and Just the Facts Man in again with yet another $10 super thanks. So thank you guys so much. Now let me get on over here, find out what's going on. Where did there I am. Now why are you all frozen up? Okay, good. Rockin' Robin, oh my goodness, Rockin' Robin Bird, a $20 super thanks. Thank you so much. Uh, Listen tonight. It looks like the same message. I dislocated my shoulder tonight. I'm going to just listen tonight. Much love, all. Also, okay, so there is an also. There was violence happening to the left. Don't forget the couple killed in their own home in June. Please don't let politics divide us. Absolutely. And if they do, and if it does divide us, don't let politics divide our civility to one another. All right. I can understand you don't like Trump or you don't like Biden. Okay. Uh, you're probably not going to like a lot of things out of those people's mouths. And if you don't like Trump, you probably didn't like a lot of things out of um, or it's possible, I should say, don't like a lot of things out of what came out of Charlie Kirk's mouth. But the way that man was silenced is not only unacceptable. I'll stop there. You guys, I'm not. I don't want the video to be a rant, but you know what? This is still happening. This is only 1 week old. I told Royce in a phone call last night. You know, his widow last night when I told her, I said, "Do you realize, Royce? She hasn't even completed her first week as a widow yet. This is so brand new to her. And 1 day later, don't change the scope of that. Okay? 1 week and 1 day ago, she could kiss her husband. She could hug him. She, the children could say, "Hi, Daddy," right? Instead of her having to tell that he's on a special mission with Jesus because the daughter's 3 years old, and couldn't. His wife can't make sense of this. All right. And anybody who's willing to shut down freedom of speech under those circumstances, death penalty. Sorry, folks, death penalty is too good for them because then we'd still have to house them between the time they were found guilty and you finally get to putting them up against a wall. All right, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. You know, don't talk to me about you being the unviolent, and you get away with it by saying his discourse was the violence, and so we needed. And how many politicians coming out saying the same damn thing? Fuck y'all. All right, and that's not a fuck you to the Democratic Party. That's a fuck you to people of any party who thinks that violence is the answer against your own brethren citizens. Okay, Deuces Wild gave us a $5 super thanks, and he says, "I watch you on my TV." Yeah, a lot of people do, brother, and chat through the phone. Nothing like seeing my tribe Trimester on the big screen. Oh my God. That's how I rock and roll. Just saying. Thank you so much, dude. I can't even imagine myself on the big screen, baby. I'm serious. Okay, so let's see. I got that taken care of. Let me make sure. I'm still getting tons of people saying they're being unsubscribed. That's clear. I just did two very successful videos that got tons of subscribers. We should have been at 46.3 4 days ago, but they're taking it off of the back end. Couldn't be my mouth, could he? I don't give a shit. So be it. Let it be so. Uh, Let it be so, number one. So anyway, check, because you are being taken off. A lot of you are being taken off. Be sure to do that. I'm not going to announce merch today. You know we got it. Okay. Um, all right. So the question is for tonight, anyway, is have the Beatles really listened to their fans? But I wanted before I get into that because I've got a whole diatribe on it. And at the last minute, Doc Insomnia, you gave me uh, uh, more work. That's why I was late getting up here because I was retyping to accommodate what you. That guy, I swear to God, I think he's got it in for me. I think he must be a teacher or something. He gives me homework, baby.
Yeah, that's good.
He does. You saw it.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
right?
cool.
Yeah.
We learned so much.
Yeah, but he came up with a really great idea, and I'm going to make it part of my proposition
Thank you
tonight.
so much, 45 RPM.
I saw something come up. Oh, 45. All right. Long time viewer. He says, I keep getting these commercials on your thing. I'm sorry if those things are coming across to you folks. That's out of my hands. You become monetized. That's what YouTube does. I'm seeing it flash up here all the time. I watch you on the big screen as well. Yeah, okay. Don't worry. You are one handsome devil. Did you hear that, baby?
Yeah.
You're married to a handsome devil.
You are. You are.
No bullshit.
And the devil too.
I'm barely adequate.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
It was my charming disposition that got me the chicks back in the day. Yeah. You have all these David Cassidy fools running around at parties. You had to have something to back you up. And I thought, hey, how about a brain? Offer them a brain, right? But first, before we get to that, seriously, with all due respect to the somberness of this next mention, is Bobby Hart passed away. I asked some of you if you knew how old. I know he was in his 80s. I even seem to remember, was it 88? Seems to come across. He passed away. If you don't know who Bobby Hart is, he was part of the team Boyce and Hart. Okay, Boyce and Hart were a team, and they had their own band. Uh, and what they would do, they were a songwriting duo, and they would write songs for producers and studios for up and coming artists and things like that. You've heard their stuff. How about "Here We Come, Walking Down the Street" or "Last Train to Clarksville"? Right? Okay, so they wrote, matter of fact, except for what was the Monkeys' last album, baby? Was that Head? Head, I think. They weren't on that, but they were on every Monkeys album. They wrote some of the album. They'd write the song, take it to their band, record it in the studio, complete with vocals, and then they would at the last minute take off their vocals, and the Monkeys would overdub their vocals over Boyce and Hart. Okay, so they're a big deal. As a matter of fact, you want to know what they look like, what was the general of their sound? Just look up "I Dream of Jeannie," Boyce and Hart on YouTube. It'll take you to the famous episode that even has Phil Spector. Now, I haven't seen that episode since I was a teenager. All right. And I just remembered, oh yeah, they were on I Dream of Jeannie. So I did a fast search. There it was. I showed it to my wife, right? And a young Phil Spector, future murderer, was on the show with Jeannie on drums, right? So they were quite a happening. This guy made his mark. He not in the limelight or in the spotlight, but he was more off into the limelight, right? He was in the shadows several times. What was I wonder what she's doing tonight was a big hit. I think that got up to number 8 on Billboard. So they had a top 10 hit under their own name, right? So he passed away. My prayers and wishes to his family. It's belated. It's been a couple of days since he passed. But one of you brought it up. Why? No, what? No, Bobby Hart. I put it in my notes, and I told that individual, it's in my notes for my next stream. So um, blessings and rest in peace, Bobby Hart. But rest in peace. Was it Tommy Boyce? I think his name is Tom Boyce, Tommy Boyce. I just remember them as Boyce and Hart, and their songs were in a lot of what I listened to, right? And really, truth be known, a lot of what you have listened to, you've heard their music. Most of you have. Okay, so that gets us down to this whole idea of what's happening with the Beatles and my question, my basic question. Uh, which is have the Beatles really listen to their fans? And the reason I brought that up was I'm seeing a lot of YouTube channels going, yeah, we did it, man. We complained and they submitted to our will. And I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that is at all as to what happened. I want to make sure I got everybody here. Yeah, I did acknowledge. Okay, yeah, 45. I did acknowledge it. Good. I noticed I missed somebody the other day, and I can't remember who it was. And because of what's been going on, I'll do some more research and I'll do a reading of yours. That doesn't happen. I think that's happened maybe 3 times in the over 6 months, 7 months that I've been streaming twice a week. So I try to answer all of your super things as they come along. But all these people seem to think, well, all of a sudden they feel empowered or they're grateful that the Beatles finally listened to their fans. And they have all of there are people who are such big Beatle fans, they'll choke down anything the Beatles have to offer. All right. I'm not that. I'm as big a Beatle fan as anybody else out there, right? I'm not a collector of Beatle trinkets. I don't need a Beatle lunchbox or a thermos or a Beatle T-shirt, really. Although I do think I have a couple. My daughter and my wife. I'm always good for a Beatle gift at Christmas because they know I'm a Beatle fan, right? But it's not something I go out and buy for myself. And I've always been a little finicky about and I spent some time on my last stream telling you, showing you albums. I'm not going to go through that again that I'm hunting instead of getting the anthology for. Now, you got to understand the reason everybody's feeling empowered. Oh my goodness, Dan, are you in?
Just the facts, man.
I saw him.
Thank you, Dan.
Wow.
So
He says, unfortunately, I have to go right now. That's all right, brother. I understand. Thanks to Michael and Kimberly for one of the best podcasts around. Oh, you're too kind, brother. Yeah, I've already mentioned you, Dan, if you just got in, by the way. I told everybody that uh, you just got monetized, right? And that you've got some plans going. So maybe some of the tribe can support you as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
If you are able to, please support the channel. Hit the thumbs up. Man, yeah, good Lord.
Dan, you're so wonderful.
I'd say, I'd say he's like one of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, except that he ain't as purty. He's handsome, but he ain't as purty. What do you think, baby?
I think you're right.
She goes, I think you're right.
You're right.
I took her aback. Oh boy. Anyway, so the reason everybody's feeling empowered, the reason everybody is starting to think that the Beatles are listening is because they find, first they were going to release the anthology as a 4 album, which means a 12 LP collection. I called it 12 albums on my last. I looked at that and I went, Jesus, Mike. But anyway, you get 12 LPs on 4 albums, and you couldn't buy them separately. And I don't know that you still can, but I do know you can buy Anthology 4 separately. And the reason is the Beatles said that this was due to popular demand. And a lot of you bought it. Because I know a lie. I can smell a lie 1,000 yards out, man. This wasn't because of popular demand. And I'll prove it. Popular demand, I'll cut right to the chase of my longer video on this. Popular demand was for Rubber Soul. So where's your giving in? Where are the Beatles giving in to popular demand? So why are they doing this? Well, it's obvious. Pre-sales aren't up to snuff. Wouldn't you imagine? Pre-sales aren't up to snuff. They got to turn a buck some way. Why do I say this? Well, it's evident everywhere. Okay, on what all the Beatles are doing. Okay, I'll give Ringo his due. At least he did a country album with I guess new tunes he's never done. I don't know. Not interested in it. Never have been interested in it. And since I'm in a kind of Beatle downer thing, I'm not interested in getting the Ringo album either. And if you really want to be honest about the Ringo album, with the exception of a couple of cuts that are awesome, what the Beatles gave him were their throwaways, or certainly John and Paul's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm the greatest chump song. Of course, John would write that. Okay, but he didn't have the guts enough to sing it, so he goes, I can get away with it by giving it to Ringo. I've never followed Ringo's solo career. I haven't watched his movies. As the drummer of the Beatles, occasional vocalist, he was awesome. Big Ringo fan, but he didn't have anything to offer me after that. So, saying that, at least he's put out an album of new material. Okay, I guess he was doing nothing but EPs for a while, but whatever Ringo does, that much of a concern for me in the end. Okay, so what do we get from George's estate? Like, I give a shit about what Danny and Olivia have in store for us in 2025, right? I don't give a flying fig about what they have to offer us. But let's see, where are my notes for this? Yeah, but here's what they offer us. And it said $85, but on this page, I'm seeing 39.98. And that's Let It Roll, 2 LP vinyl. And it's basically a best hits of his stuff. Even While My Guitar Gently Weeps is on it. It's a live version because it's not a Beatle cut, right? So, but at 39.88, if you want a potpourri of his best stuff, boy, this looks like a decent album. It's certainly not worth $85. Okay, at least that's what I'm seeing here. So anyway, but what are we getting? A compilation that gets us to John. What are we getting? Well, if it's not an actual compilation, which it really does with all the discs and everything, depending on what, this is the most overpriced thing since John Lennon's The Cube. This is why I'm not interested in Yoko Ono or Sean at all. I know there's a lot of YouTube content creators out there that get freebies, albums, and so I don't. If I have an album, I'm showing up here. I paid with my own cash, right? And so you're going to get the straight poop from me. Now, I know a lot of these people who get these, albums from the estates, and well, no, really, seriously, and they say it with a straight face too. I'm amazed. No, really, I give my honest opinion. Do you? Well, let's get some honest opinion. I don't hear the bellowing and everything. As we don't want this project because Elephant's Memory was the worst chapter in John Lennon's solo life. But they're ramming this shit down our throats, aren't they? How about Paul McCartney? Long promised album he's been working on for 2 years. Are we going to get it? No, that's next year. What do we get? Wings, which is an anthology album, remastered and remixed, and you get a couple of tracks from London Town and maybe a couple of tracks from London. I can't remember now. You get tracks from London Town and you get tracks from Back to the Egg. And some of you even wrote to me and said, "Look, Michael, I'm going to get this." And that's fine. If you are all going to get all these, that's fine. A lot of you snarkier people said this isn't a ripoff, which I never said it was a ripoff. Okay. Uh, but they say this isn't a ripoff, man. Nobody's making you buy it, right? But you're right. Nobody is. You know, the market will bear what the market will bear. Let the buyer beware is my mantra. My longtime viewers know that. And I have no trouble people going, "Yeah, you're full of shit, Michael. I'm getting it anyway. I'm sure it'll sell." Okay, but that's not what we're talking about tonight. I'm just giving you examples of what the Beatles have offered us so far. All right. So we're getting an anthology, a best of, a compilation of McCartney, a wreck of God, John Lennon. The last couple of things, I hate what they're doing to him. You know, as if I'm not going to go there. All right. George Harrison, we're getting a compilation album. The Beatles, we're getting a compilation album in 2025. Why is that a big deal? Well, 2025 may be the 30th anniversary, not really, though, of Anthology. Why did he say not really, though, Mildred? Well, not really, though, because 2/3 of Anthology 2 and Anthology 3, were released in 1996. So they're jumping the gun with this release to begin with. Why isn't everybody screaming about that? No, I'm too into this record company. I'm too in to my nose is planted right between Yoko Ono's ass cheeks. I wouldn't want to do anything. I got to get my free album. I'll be tough, honest. Bullshit. Bullshit. Go buy your own fucking album and then be honest with us. I'm in a mood, folks. So anyway, that's what we're getting, and we're not getting. So we're getting an anniversary release, not actually on its true anniversary. When 2/3 of the album belong to 1996, 2026 is the truer anniversary for this release if they chose to do it. And what did they choose to do? They chose to do it this year, ignoring the 60th anniversary of Help and Rubber Soul Baby. So you think the Beatles are listening to you? Ah, shit. The Beatles haven't listened to anybody. I don't think Paul and Ringo do anything other than a courtesy listen to after the bigwigs have already made it. They're old, they're feeble, they don't know what they're doing. And Paul's on tour all the time, can't record new music, and can't seem to write on the level that he used to write. Real disappointment to me. He's my favorite guy and will continue to be. There's nobody who's going to catch up with him on the good stuff he's done. There's only one man that could have done it. That was John Lennon. And he was murdered by another dirty dog who thought to silence a man and his words with violence. So that's where we're at. That's what we've got. That's what we've got from the Beatles. Now, I said I had an idea. A lot of you also wrote to me and said that, yeah, but there's not that many outtakes for Rubber Soul. And so it would at best be like the album itself, a mono, and maybe an EP of some sort, either 45 small EP or whatever. And I said at the time, fine, release that. But then you guys then see, I listened to you guys. Then you then told me that no, you don't understand. I'm not cutting that down, that idea, but it is a financial fact that wouldn't bring in the bucks that the Beatles want to bring in 2025. They're going to make more money selling you 12 albums than they are selling you three or 12 LPs. I did it again, didn't I? 12 LPs instead of three at best, right? Okay. And so I then responded, I'm getting to you, Doc. Do you feel me kind of breathing down your neck there?
Yeah.
Your comment? I'm getting to you here. But then I said, as is my wand, oh no, but you don't understand. You see, those three albums and those three LPs in the Rubber Soul box set released in the fall, along with Help of the same nature being released in early in the year, would more than make up for it, right? And nobody really had an answer for that. Okay. Now, granted, that would be six albums if they were truly as bereft as some people think. I don't think they are. I don't buy it. Let us know, Mark Lewison. How much material is there? Because there was a time when the Beatles, Lewison, and everybody said there wasn't enough material to cover on the first anthology three albums. And yet they changed their mind. Sure, you don't got some old recordings of Paul in his bathroom sitting on the toilet singing one of his songs from Rubber Soul? You seem to have a lot of that shit from John Lennon. Okay. But let's say that they're right. There's just not that much stuff. But it's the 60th anniversary, pure and simple fact of rock and roll's first album of all time. That's Rubber Soul. I'm not going to go into my diatribe on that. You guys have heard me say that. I stand by that. It is a fucking fact. That is rock and roll's first album. A couple of you said no. One of you said it was the Beach Boys. That's a collection of shit and stuff. No. This is when the album, the boys went in and they said, we want it to sound not disjointed. It's all related. Okay. And we even got an amazing single out of it that was recording during that time, but separate. They didn't include it on there. That was kind of a Beatle rule anyway, right? Okay, so that was my kind of response to the whole thing. Then Doc opened his mouth. He always does. He really does. He came up with a thought. How about, as a matter of fact, I got to get over here again. How about, I'm going to read you his response. They could have released the USA UK ultimate hybrid version of Rubber Soul. Keep the four songs taken off of the American version, but start each side with the American first tracks. Everyone happy. Money Bank, right? Or how about this, Doc? Give us the three albums, add a fourth one, give us the American version. Since the Beatles are embracing the American versions like they're sweetums, there was a time when the Beatles hated the American version. No, that's not the one we meant. Oh, they mess our stuff up over in the USA all the time. No, you want to know what we mean, what we stand for? It's the 13 albums that we've made, the UK versions, right? But since they're, first they embraced, and I think wisely so, Magical Mystery Tour, which was a US concoction, right? That was the first, you let one in, right? But anyway, the thing is why not just remaster both versions? All right, give us a mono for four versions. There's four, and then even one stinking outtakes album. One single. You got five right there. Do the same thing to help. You know, uh, if anybody wants the American version of Help, uh, well, I guess they do. Wasn't that include? Was that included in with that Beatle concoction? The U.S. albums. Yeah, I've got an American version. It's not like I'm not interested in them, but and I listened to them when I bought them.
Oh,
Oh, I saw that.
Rockin' Robin Bird came in with another
Oh
super thing.
boy,
Rockin' Robin Bird,
and she's
so
doing
funny.
this wounded, I might add.
She keeps doing it. Oh, thank you so much,
$5 from Rock and
Robin
Robinberg.
Bird.
She says Rubber Soul rules. They should listen to us, real fans. Absolutely. See, that's the whole point of tonight's stream, folks, is that the real fans, are the people who have supported them over the years. Now, I'm all for getting new fans. The Beatles have always managed to get new fans, but evidently not fast enough. And they are quite literally, see, when they do this, and I'll say this again for the final time, well, probably not. I know me. I can't keep my mouth shut. I'll keep hammering it in until somebody gets it. But the whole idea with what they're offering us is to sell the songs, to rearrange the songs, to make them, oh, now listen to it here. I mean, I've said it becomes a C sampler, right? You open the box. Oh, okay. So this year, what we're going to do is we're going to take that nugget out and this nugget out, put it over there and there. Ooh, they'll buy this one in this concoction. And they've given up on their albums. Why? Well, because look at Rubber Soul on the 60th anniversary. They gave us Revolver and then forgot about it. For 3 years in a row, they're selling us nothing but compilations. So is these other guys. Now, Paul, uh, he did put out this year, early this year, I got it, was one hand clapping, and I always wanted that. See, he already put something out. Why does he need to do this Wings thing? Well, there's a special coming up, you see. Well, re-release Wingspan, you know. But no, see, re-release of Wingspan, there would be too many of you going, oh, well, I've already got mine. But it's a remaster and remix. Yeah, well, the first mix was pretty good. Not everybody's going to buy that. So you gotta switch up the little chocolates in the C box. They're the same fucking chocolates. Nothing changes, but they just rearrange them, repackage them, and go $400. That's what we want. $400. Do you know this band was known to be known? They were known. They bragged about it to give value for the buck. They were quite literally, when they were the Beatles, the hardest working band in rock and roll, and no one ever surpassed them. Not even the mighty Led Zeppelin. Not that kind of work. They were obsessed with giving us value for the buck and art. And their art were their albums, and now their albums don't mean shit to them. Why do I say that? Look at their history, recent history. So the next time you hear a content creator go mouthing off about, how powerful they were and them and theirs helped, thrust this down the Beatles' throat, tell them to go take a hike. They don't know what they're talking about. None of us changed this. That's wishful thinking. I can't get behind that. That is fucking wishful thinking, plain and simple. That's all it is. And somehow make you feel better about yourself when you're still being lied to. Damn it, baby. I want flowers at least.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And maybe some chocolates too.
And chocolates would be nice. Yeah. You know, I mean, I got all dressed up and nowhere to go. I got my me pumps on. Okay. But you got to be nice to me. got to offer me something. We're not getting offered anything, but they want to fuck us anyway, don't they? Sorry, guys, I'm in a piss poor mood today. Matter of fact, knowing my mouth, I'm going to shut down. We've been going for about an hour, not too far off. Not right this second, but I'm getting ready to wind down here. Uh, Baby, are you taking some screenshots here? Could you start taking some screenshots from the top, and I'll do a slow wind down here.
Oh yeah. Oh
Because I want to go over your comments and everything and get an idea of what you think. The divine Caitlin is in. Caitlin, you were a subject of topic earlier on in the stream, darling. You'll have to watch it later, I'm sure. But we defended your honor, sweetie, uh, and it was my honor to do so. Um, yeah, Kimberly's taking these down and everything. I'm in such a hot and bothered mess here. If I'm not, you got to be a little careful what you say. You go, that's being careful, you know. But I get, I'm a equal and opposite reaction kind of guy. You hit me, I hit you back that fast. I don't, I don't deal with bullshit. I'm not going to sit back and think, well, did he mean? No, he hit me. I'm gonna hit him back. It's the only way to deal with a bully. John C is in.
Oh, John
He's
C.
doing his late. See what he does?
Oh, thank you so much,
John C.
John.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he came
Ah,
in
awesome.
right with a super thing.
He says, Mike, I recently saw Burton Cummings. Oh, I wish I could. I've had. He was great live. What do you think of him? I think he's one of the best songwriters in rock and roll. I think they are the second best favorite band uh, out of Canada. I think they are a wonderful band. The only one that outranks them is no, it's not Rush. I actually rank them higher than Rush. I go back a ways, right? But it's Klaatu from Canada is my favorite band, and I won't bore you with why that's so. I've made plenty of videos on it. I love Klaatu. Good friend of mine was the drummer. Not good friend. We weren't buddies, but we became friendly. I did an interview of him. Terry Draper bought his album. Have it back here. Where is it? It's this. Yeah, in the beginning, Terry Draper. He just passed away, folks. Right. And he was the drummer and sometimes songwriter. He was the co-writer for Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft. But to cut it to the short, brother, of course, John, I, of course, love. Uh, Matter of fact, like I said, the Guess Who, uh, I've got a small collection. I've got under 150. Actually, I don't think I've hit 140. 139 is coming in. I just got notified that I've got the Led Zeppelin live EP arriving on Monday. It should have been here last Monday, idiots. But anyway, that's coming. So I have 139 records, and I've got the Guess Who, brother. And when you have that few records, any of them, in anybody's collection of that small, you're going to know that they like those records. Uh, I've still got tons of records that I want to get, and I managed to take time. And so far, I've only got one of theirs, but that's how I do it. And it's the American Woman album. Fantastic. Got it off of uh, a one of Patrick's streams. Bought it from him. He always does a good job
Patrick's in
doing
tonight.
as far as his ears go and providing. The albums come as advertising.
Patrick's in
Advertising.
tonight.
What's that?
Yeah, Patrick came in tonight. Patrick's here.
Oh, Patrick Chamberlain.
Well, it's just Patrick.
Patrick. Oh, okay. Hi, Patrick. Zombie Rickio's in. My goodness. Billy Platt. I'm sure Apple saw that the pre-sales sucked and made an adjustment based on that. They are not listening to fans. I agree with you. Juice is wild. Hell yeah, John. It was one hit after another and so awesome live. I go back and watch many of their old shows too. Are you guys still talking about the Guess Who? because I look them up all the time. I even like to watch the Coming and the Burton Coming and what's his name? Bachman, Randy Bachman shows when they've occasionally performed. I go back and watch those. Uh, he's one of the best singers, Burton Cummings. God, what an amazing range and power to his voice, emotive, everything about him, if that's what you're talking about. Sorry I missed your stream, and whatever happened, I will have to re listen. You don't deserve awful treatment. I think she's talking to Caitlin or Royce. It happened over at Royce's show, and Royce and I won't have it. You will not disrespect the female tribal members here, and there's a whole lot of Southern gentlemen ready to cram our fists down your throat if we had to do it.
Yeah.
That's virtually speaking, me being a man of nonviolence, you know. But sure, why not? You know, uh, you want to come in here and be a pig shit, you're going to be treated like one. Isn't that funny how pigs just like to wallow in the mud? You know? Anyway, Carlos Bandano is in. Who else is more interested? Yeah, I thought of doing something on that. I haven't had a chance to look into it. I'm sure I'll be covering some of that, if not me, Royce. Uh, despite the fact that Royce has claimed that Jimmy Page is his favorite guitarist, I just know Jimmy is really his favorite. I don't believe him. I think Jimi Hendrix is, and you know what? If he is, I can't blame him for picking that. He's wrong, but I can't blame him. Jimi Hendrix is amazing, man, and he is the favorite guitarist on a lot of people's lists. And he's also got another offering coming too. And I wanted to look more into it because I'm wondering why we're not. It might be related to the year of release because I'm wondering why we're not getting the same treatment on his double album. So yeah, that's all in the future. I'm a major Jimi Hendrix fan. I already got 3 albums by him. Okay. Even though I'm not quite the Hendrix fan that Royce is, Royce has every album known to man by Jimi Hendrix and a few extra on top of that, right? So, yeah, big time Jimi Hendrix fan, big time. All right. I still love, was it 1983, a merman I shall be? I love, hey, man, it's raining. It's raining outside, man. You know, God. Oh, I love Jimmy. It'd be insane not to. All right, folks. That covers an hour, pretty much, right there. If I didn't get to you, please understand. I'm hot and bothered. Everything out of my mouth tonight came from the soul, and that's me. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. You know what, baby?
Yeah.
I am what I am. What I am. What I am.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I am what I am.
I am what I am,
And
what
I
I am,
am
what
what
I
I
am.
am.
That's what you get.
I am.
I love each and every. Oh, and Storm Cop, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
I noticed you were in earlier. I didn't mention you, Storm Cop, my oldest and most devoted patron. It's so good to see you, brother.
Yes,
So good to see you. We have a Storm Cop in the midst. Be careful, you dastardly villains. Why, I won't have to change into my vigilante uniform. I'll just sick a storm cop on you, or two, or three, or four.
Oh, Caitlin says, okay, I am all caught up. Thank you very much for protection. Makes me happy to know people actually care.
We do,
Amen,
darling. Of
Caitlin.
course we do.
Amen.
And anybody who knows Caitlin, Caitlin, to say that this asshole was asking for it,
Yep.
you know, and I ain't bringing flowers or chocolates. Lube up, son. I'm from North Carolina.
Make my day.
Yeah. I love each and every one of you. Joseph Blue. I could just sit here. John Atello. I mentioned Carlos Vandano. So many Irgis Split, and of course I mentioned him before. Dwayne Chamberlain. That's who I. And you were saying something. It was Dwayne Chamberlain that I was thinking of. Chris Barlow. Uh, oh God, so many of you in here. Tiger Rogers. He's another one that's from down under. Tiger's been with me forever. Tiger, you go back as far as Royce does, right? When I first started over in Royce, Tiger got, and you know, he wasn't making the streams for the longest time, but he's starting to make them. But he's one of those people I always talk to. I just spent days talking to you folks over my last two videos. All right. More hours than I ever have. You know why? I was thinking I wasn't going to stream tonight. So I'll get back to what I like to do, which is talk to you fine folks. This is a channel of communication. This is a channel of sharing ideas. This is a channel where we can bitch at each other, but it will be about rock and roll. Okay? And this is not a channel for trolls. And we all know where they come from. They either come from Rachel's show or from the Ragged Tomato. That's where this clown came from. You let one in, and Rachel, you know, yells it to the. There's no such thing as a bad boy. She's fucking yanking your chain. It's all part of a fucking act with her. There's no thing. She even makes it. You know, well, at least the smart people in the crowd will get that she's actually being that way. You know, she's trying to be witty. Yes, there is such thing as a bad boy, and you entertain far too many of them, Rachel. Knock it off. What's wrong with you, girl? All right, folks. I love each and every one of you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Oh, I wouldn't fucking say it. That's how I tell my kids. I love you. I know if I didn't mean it, I wouldn't fucking say it. All right, guys. I love you. I mean it. And I will see you on Sunday at 5 o'clock. I don't know how many people we got in tonight. I wasn't even looking. We got 46 thumbs up. It's a smaller crowd then. All right. And my mouth probably got me into trouble. So be it. I don't care. Too bad. So sad.
No, they like it. They like
You know what I mean? Usually we pull at least 50 something thumbs up, and we usually have a larger crowd. But I think I scared some of them off, baby.
No,
What do you think?
no, I don't think so. I think everybody liked it.
No, I think I scared plenty of folks off because this is nowhere near the amount of people we usually get here, right?
Yeah.
And it could be that people are just in mourning and they just don't want to have anything to do. They're burnt out. They've watched this. A lot of you are livid, and the ones that are you are livid on the other side, trying to justify your horrible acts and thoughts. Left this stream a long time ago and probably left the channel. That's fine. I don't want you here. You're dangerous. All right, folks. We'll see you on Sunday. Night.
Good night.
Night, she says.